Have you ever really, truly stopped to think about something? That beautiful sunset you're watching, it doesn't actually exist out there. Not in the way you experience it, anyway. Today, we're going to unravel the incredible journey from simple light waves and sound vibrations to your conscious reality. Okay, let's get into it, because it all starts with your senses.
So yeah, this is the big question, right? How does all that stuff, the sights, the sounds, the smells of the world, get inside our heads? Well, it's an amazing journey of detection, translation, and some absolutely mind-blowing interpretation by our brains.
So first things first, our body needs a way to gather all this information. The best way to think about our sense organs is like a set of highly advanced, specialized windows. Each one is designed to let in a very specific kind of information about the universe around us. And here they are, the fantastic five that you know and love. Our eyes for vision, ears for hearing, our nose for smell, our tongue for taste, and of course our largest organ, the skin, for touch. You can think of each one as a specialist, a true master of its craft, and it's constantly feeding data back to mission control, your brain. So how in the world do they actually do it? Well, it's not magic, it's biology. Tucked away inside each of these sense organs are just vast armies of microscopic detectors, and each and every one is finely tuned to a specific type of energy from the outside world. You know what's so cool is when you look at these two side by side. I mean, the intricate structure of the eye and the ear, they look completely different, don't they? But at their core, they share the exact same fundamental purpose: to house and protect the tiny little detector cells that do all the real work.
And these cells have a name. They're called sensory receptors. Honestly, they are the unsung heroes of our entire perception. They are the frontline workers, the gatekeepers that actually encounter the physical world and start the whole process of letting that information in.
So for example, you've got photoreceptors in the back of your eyes, and they're built to do one thing: catch photons of light. Deep inside your ear, these tiny hair-like cilia are designed to literally vibrate with sound waves. Then you have thermoreceptors in your skin that get excited by heat and cold, and olfactory cells way up in your nose shaped perfectly to capture specific scent molecules floating in the air.
Okay, so our receptors have detected something, but there's a problem. Your brain doesn't speak the language of light or sound or scent molecules. It has its own universal language, and that means all this outside information needs to be translated. And this is the translation. This is the secret. Every single piece of sensory data, no matter if it's the color red, the sound of a guitar, or the feeling of a cool breeze, it all gets converted into the exact same thing: tiny electrical signals. The rich, complex world out there gets boiled down to simple pulses of electricity. That is the only language the nervous system speaks. Let's just use vision as a quick example. So light enters your eye, gets focused onto the retina at the back. When that light hits the photoreceptor cells, they don't just see it, they actually convert its physical energy into a brand new electrical signal. And just like that, the physical world has been translated into the language of the brain. So, once that message is translated into electricity, it's time to send it to headquarters. And this happens on an absolutely astonishing network of nerves, a true biological information superhighway. I love this analogy. Think of that pathway as the highway, and the neurons, the nerve cells, are the cars, and they're just racing to deliver their precious cargo of information to the brain. And on this diagram of the eye, you can see the main on-ramp for our visual highway. It's the optic nerve. This thing is like a massive data cable, bundling together over 1 million nerve fibers, with each one carrying one tiny piece of the visual puzzle straight from the retina to the brain. But look, these signals don't just get dumped into the brain randomly. I mean, that would be total chaos, right? Instead, they arrive at a central processing hub, a sort of grand sorting office, to make sure every single piece of information gets routed to the right department. And this crucial hub is called the thalamus. It's located deep in the center of your brain. Now, with the one quirky exception of smell, pretty much all sensory data has to pass through the thalamus first. You can think of it as the brain's ultimate gatekeeper. And you can see why they call it the brain's grand central station. It's just a perfect analogy. Look at its location here, nestled right in the middle of everything. Just like a busy train station, the thalamus receives all the incoming tracks of sensory information, figures out what they are and where they need to go, and then relays them to their correct final destination. And this table gives you a little peek into just how organized this thing is. The thalamus has specialized subregions for each sense. So, for example, vision signals get routed through one part to the visual cortex. Hearing signals go through a different part to the auditory cortex.
It is an incredibly precise and ridiculously efficient system.
All right, so the signals have been detected, they've been translated, they've been routed. Now comes the most amazing, most mysterious part of the whole journey. This is where the brain takes these simple electrical pulses, and from them, it literally constructs our entire reality. It's not just receiving data anymore, it is interpreting it. Okay, check this out. Here's a totally mind-bending example of the brain's power. Because of the physics of how a lens works, the image that's projected onto your retina is actually upside down. So why don't we see the world upside down? It's because your brain is actively creating your perception. The retina gets this flat, blurry, upside-down image, and your brain just takes that data, flips it right side up, combines it with the image from your other eye, and constructs the seamless, rich, three-dimensional world that you experience every single moment. It's incredible.
And here's another amazing example of that. Our perception is totally relative. Let's say you hold a glass of hot water in one hand and ice water in the other. Then you grab a room temperature glass with both hands. Your hot hand will feel it as cold, and your cold hand will feel it as hot. Your brain isn't a thermometer. It's constructing the feeling of temperature based on context and comparison.
So the bottom line is this. Every second, your brain is just being bombarded with millions of these electrical signals. It's grabbing data from your eyes, your ears, your skin, your nose, your tongue, and it's combining all of it, cross-referencing it with your memories and your expectations. And the result? That is your unique, continuous experience of reality.
I mean, it's a really humbling thought, isn't it? Your brain isn't just some passive observer watching a movie of the world. It is the architect of your reality. It takes simple electrical signals and builds your entire universe from scratch. So, what else is this incredible machine capable of? What other realities could it create?